Make sure everything. Hello, guys. Hello. Some face like yes. All right. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. As you're jumping on, say hello. All right. So we have some fun guests today. And the reason why I think this is fun is because one of the most popular things that people love is when we hot seat, right? Because you can see yourself in other people. And there's so, hi, Esteban. How are you? There's so much power, at least I think there's so much power when I watch somebody being hot seated around their business and I see what their questions are. And then I realize, oh, if I did that too, I could create a result like that. Who's excited about checking out some plans today? Some monetization plans today, some strategy plans today. Look at, I got my whiteboard here. We're ready to rock and roll on that. All right. Okay. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Esteban, Marilyn. Okay, can you guys do me a favor? Let's get a bunch more people on here because we started a couple minutes late. And hit share. Hit the share button. Hi, Jeff. How you doing, mister? How you doing? Hey, Z, Katie. Awesome. Shakara. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I've got two people that we picked this week on Shanda On Demand. So if you're on Shanda On Demand and we see you commenting and engaging and you're having breakthroughs and things are coming together for you or things aren't coming together for you and you want them to come together for you, then we look at the comments. And what we did this week is we pulled two ladies up. Gentlemen, I don't know where you are, but it's time for you to be up here, right? Guys, where are my guys at? Say me. We want to get some guys up here as well. But today we're going to do two beautiful women, Nina and Tosh, and I'm going to pull them up in 2 seconds. So first I want to say, set your intention. What would be amazing if you learned it today? Go in the chat right now. Go in the comment section. What would be amazing if you learned it today? Like, do you need a monetization plan? Do you need to know how do I cash inject? Do you need to know how to have more confidence in what you're doing? Do you need to know how to do it scared? What is the thing? And this is when I go into a VIP day, this is what I always ask them. I'm like, what's the number one thing that if I solved it today, that it would have a domino effect in your life of success? What's the number one thing? Just write it down, seriously. What's the number one thing that if I solved it today, it would have a domino effect? I'll give you a hint. You probably have been complaining about this thing. Probably. Not always. You've probably been like saying, if I could just, whatever that is, that's a great place to start. And I just want to say that's enough. A lot of times people get so wrapped up on what's my purpose. I know what's my niche, what's my avatar. The reason why I say I know is I did it myself. I put so much pressure on myself trying to make sure I got all those things right. Even planning was really stressful for me back in the day because I just wanted to do it right. And anybody else out there, you want to do it right, put an R in the comment section, put an R in the comment section. I just wanted to do it right. And I want to do a good job. And so I see you guys who are battling with that, and just let your questions be good enough. And it really does unhook you to speed if you can grab a hold of that. Okay. So I'm going to pop our two ladies up today so you guys can give Nina and Tosh some love. I'm going to pop them up here right now. Hey ladies, how are you?
Great.
How you doing? You doing good? Awesome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So I know one of you Tosh, you just joined Mentor Me Live, didn't you?
Yes.
It's
been fantastic.
It's like, no, were you actually on the call this week with Rex?
I wasn't, unfortunately. The time difference is a little bit challenging, but I'm looking forward to watching the replay.
Yes, it's in the group, so go listen to it. It was, I saw people just freaking out about it. They said it was just absolutely off the charts. So definitely listen to that. And if you can't find it, you could always ask Faith and she'll find it for you. But it's in the group. Okay. So Nina, nice to see you, darling. How are you doing?
It's Nina, just to
Nina.
Tweak on that. Yeah. Thank you.
Nina. Good. I'm so glad. Okay. So ladies, can you just give us all, so everybody knows that I have not pre-talked to these women. There's nothing pre-planned or pre-set up. I'm just going to show you how really how easy it is to really unhook from our limiting beliefs and our stuckness. And so that everybody watching, my intention is that you go find help, right? Because our lives are so important, and it's not, you just don't want to sit there stuck. You want to get the support you want or the support you need, and you need to make whatever support you think you need okay and right and good enough so that you can keep asking the questions that move you forward. So any area that you're stuck is good enough to solve. We don't need to come up with something bigger because you're trying to squeeze all the juice out of life. Do you guys get what I'm saying? The juice gets squeezed in the details. Okay. So Tosh, why don't you jump in there first and just give us a quick update? What is the ideal customer or group of people in the world you want?
Ultimately, that you guys have. And essentially, I just want to have the same impact, I guess, but in the fertility world. So I've written my own book, a bit of a guide to pregnancy after infertility. So what's different and what's next? Because there's a big audience there that needs to be supported. So essentially, I want to set up, obviously, all sorts of kind of support systems there. My biggest issue today, at the moment, is in relation to getting to speak in stages. And I did put the question up, and you may have answered it, and I apologise if you did. But it was in relation to being asked to speak, but then also have to pay as a registration. So I was just wondering what your thoughts were on that.
That's a speak to sell.
Yeah.
So that's how I started. That's how you can guarantee that you're actually going to have a good audience. To be really honest, the free speaking is not as lucrative as the speak to sell. So yes, we can talk about that. And so there's a sponsor fee to be able to sponsor the event to do that. A lot of people don't realize that. And so usually whatever the sponsorship fee is, you double, so say you pay 10,000, you'll probably make 20,000. Usually double your investment, which in the investment world is awesome. Anytime, you guys get that, right? Anytime you can double your money, that's a good investment. And a lot of times I've found, at least some mindset I had to break when I was growing my business and just growing my finances, was looking at things as cost versus investment. My husband actually is going to do Shanda on demand. I have the curriculum right there. It's either next Thursday or next Friday. I think it's next Friday. He's doing the difference between the mindset of how do you know you're overspending and how do you actually are clear this is an investment, so that there is a really big difference in it, so that you sink into that. So make sure that you're on next Thursday and Friday on Shanda on Demand, because syncing in with him is great, unless you're going to be at the Tampa Mastermind with me. Okay. So speaking of, well, you get to if you want to, because that's part of your Meant to Be Live package. So what's the part that you really wanting to solve? You're really wanting to solve how to not pay a sponsorship fee, or how to get good at speaking so you're not afraid to do the sponsorship fee?
Possibly the second, but also the finances, I guess. I really want to have a big impact to
she's
reach
cutting out.
the specialist that I want to talk on. It's also, I don't mind spending the money, that's fine, but I think the little balance that's there to spend is getting a bit smaller. So I'm guessing praying that ultimately this comes all off. So the confidence would be a great one.
Okay, so I'm going to come back to you in a second. So
thank you.
Neat. Tell me how to say your name again. Nina? Did I say that right?
Yeah, it's Nina.
Nina. I don't know why
Okay.
Nina.
I answered about.
Okay, so Nina, give us an understanding of the customer base that you work with.
Okay, well, I'm a fine artist and I also teach. And basically my business is I do paintings, commissions, and I also teach classes. And my niche in this world is that I believe that everyone should be able to interact with fine art. It's kind of a world that's separated from most people in galleries and museums. And with my work, I try to bring fine art to everybody, so that they can enjoy their life more, interact with fine art in a way that they're comfortable with. And I also specialize in bringing out the artist in everybody. Everyone thinks I'm not creative, I'm not this, I'm not that. And I like to show people, if you are a human being, you're made in the image of God, you are a creator. And so I do that as well.
Okay, so and what is the number one thing, if I could solve it for you, you'd love me to solve it on this live?
Well, you've started to help me, but I'm not completely over it. And you've talked about money loves speed, and you go into the whole thing about procrastination and perfectionism. And that just really hit home with me. I realized my business is just tiny because I just perfect everything before I do it. I spend so much time making sure everything's perfect before I finish a class, before I finish a commission. I even want to get a partner, and it's like a business partner, and and I have to perfect that whole idea. And I think that I could explode, have a business partner and employees, if I could just continue to get over having to perfect everything before I just
what do you think? What do you think you're afraid of?
You know, that's a good question. I think part of it is just habit, that I go into planning mode instead of doing it. And maybe I'm just afraid that it's not going to turn out well. I'm very talented person, but I want everything.
Let me jump in. Otherwise we'll be here for we'll be here for 2 hours. Okay. So what I wrote down when I was listening to is you're missing a hook. Okay. So I want you to write that down. You're missing a hook. And for Tosh, she's missing confidence. Okay. And so I'm clear both of you ladies know what you're doing in your fields. You're clear about that, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you guys, how many of you guys, who do you relate most with? Nina or Tosh? Nina or Tosh? Go in the comment section. Who do you relate most with? Nina or Tosh? Go in the comment section. Let us know. And then I'm going to ask you to share this live, because there are artists out there that need to hear this. There are fertility coaches and every other style of coaches, teachers that are making crappy incomes that could be creating courses or products on the side. Like, let's rise up this world together and share this live. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Like, this is not about you just tuning in and winning on your own. This is 100% about, we get to rise up this world. So many people like to complain about politics and complain about rules in your country, your city. But the truth is that the only way that we can, in my opinion, is emotionally and financially. And this is going to help them with both. So share this live, okay? Because we got to get more people in their leadership. And money talks. Any which way you talk, money talks, okay? Okay, so let's dive into this. Okay, so Nina, I'm going to go with you first. And so you are painting, you're commission painting, and you're also teaching courses that are helping people paint. So Amber is one of our clients. I don't know if you know her. She lives in Hawaii. She is an artist. She came to me in the exact same spot. And we took her and we created, I think you actually know about our online show, like where we teach around list building and that type of stuff. So, right? You know about that. So there's a product that we teach people in called List Power. And it's a product where we show people how to build a really good targeted list. Now, Amber, as an artist, like you, Nina, she was kind of like, I know what I do in the art world, but you know what I mean? Like, she felt very tied in the digital online space. I want to let you know that she built her list and she sells a product for $250 a month. She opens it 2 or 3 times a year for open enrollment. I'll just put open sales. And she sells this, and she does anywhere between 50 to 55,000 reoccurring every month. Okay? So this is a membership that she does, and she literally teaches people how to paint and draw. Okay, so now when we originally built your list, everything is on the list, you guys. You're running a really risky game, especially in a recession. I mean, it already sucks outside of a recession, but inside of a recession, like it really sucks, right? Because people aren't going around going, I need another piece of art. You know, oh, I need an art class to take. This is why you got to get a hook. You're missing a hook. See, Amber's online membership has a hook. She does an online show, an interview series called, I think it's called this, gosh, I can't remember right now. It's like the feminine something. And she calls it an online retreat, and she does this interview series, and all the experts mail their lists, and she builds a list. She builds like a 12, 15,000 person list every time she does this. It's incredible. Wow. Right? And I'll give you an example. So she interviews like all these different therapists around like feminine energy and all this. And she's very spiritual, and she does it around the summer solstice and I think the winter solstice. Right? So she's very, very spiritual. And so for her, we originally took this list. So, well, first of all, let me show you this. If she builds a list of 10,000 off doing an interview series, if she paid for advertisement online, that would be $150,000 that she would spend. She builds that in about 60 days. Okay, so imagine that, okay? So what everybody needs to pull out is this. If you need to know the how on that, go to retiremeshanda.com. Okay, if you need to know the how of that, retiremeshanda.com, I'll talk about that there, okay? So she has this amount of people, she makes this amount of money, 50 to 55,000 reoccurring every single month. And she literally sits in her home in Hawaii and does videos. I think she does them every week. I'm not 100% sure on that. I mean, I gave her the strategy, but it's been a long time. This has given her a lot of freedom. She sells that $250 membership to the email list that's built here. So now what's cool is she could assemble one set of emails, and the 2 or 3 times she opens enrollment, she can deploy the same emails. Now, just the other day, I found another $300,000 worth of income every time she opens that. That's the power of being in community. Okay, so it was just sitting there in this funnel. And what I said to her, I said, you should be popping out additional high ticket products. And I had a very specific one for her. So you don't have to look at this right now. This is an easy go. $250 a month is an easy go, but you need a hook. And so, you know, again, I can't remember what hook is. That's not what's most important. What's most important is when you look out in the world, what do you see the big problem with the ideal customer or group of people you want to help? Because the truth is, you could go teach artwork to people with anxiety. You can go teach artwork to mothers and daughters that want to bond. You can go teach artwork to children with disability. You can go teach artwork for like de-stressing. There's a whole group in, I have some old friends of mine are lobbyists, and that's a very, very high pressure job. And so every year, my lobbyist friend, the wife, would go to this art retreat, and she'd literally check herself in. And it was like, that's how she looked at it. I'm checking myself in. And she would do art for 3 days. And it completely changed her nervous system. She did it every year. It was not a cheap investment. And she did it every year. And she was religious about it. Right. And so you have to go, what's the group of people? And this takes some soul searching. You're welcome to share with me what you think that might be. But this, when I say soul searching, everybody gets backed up about the hook because they want to get it right. And the hook is clear. Everybody write this down. It's clear on who it's for. So when someone says to me like you, Nina, oh, like I could teach art to anybody. It's beneficial to anyone. That's called a watered down hook, which means you are broke. So if you want to be rich, which I'm going to encourage everybody to be, if you want to be rich, then we need something very clear for a specific audience, or let's call it, I don't want to use the word niche because people get backed up about the word niche, right? So say the group of people that you want to help. And that is clear. And so what is the benefit for them working with you? What is the benefit? So when I do your art class, what do I get for that? What is the benefit of my life? Because it better be more than just like creativity. So when Amber started, by the way, creativity was where we started. And then we connected creativity to people who wanted to birth books. And they would go in and they would do artwork. And then she has this process on birthing books. And by the way, she just birthed a phenomenal best-selling book. And I think it's her first one. So now now you've got this high ticket that stemmed out of hers. And now you've got this book now that stemmed out of hers. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's going to evolve. This is why when people get so backed up about their messaging, it just hurts my heart, because your messaging is going to change as you kind of evolve, and the more clear you get about the group of people. But where can you stand now? Do you have any idea?
I do. I'm 57 years old, and I think of myself as young. But I know so many women who are my age who think, gosh, I just don't know what I'm going to do with my life at this point. And I wish I were creative, and I wish I were this and that. And I would love to work with my group of peers and say, you have the rest of your life to be a creative person and to find a new definition of yourself and to open your mind.
It's too esoteric. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's too esoteric.
So
I get who you're talking about. Do you guys hear what I'm doing right now? Who can see that this is too esoteric, right? Like, it's too general. Put the word general in the comments if you hear what I'm saying. It's too general. And so especially in a recession, right? Especially, it's like, what is in it for me? So I'm clear, you know who your group of people are. What you're not clear about is the benefit.
Okay.
And so you need to go deeper. So if they're a creative person, then what? What do they get from that?
Okay.
And by the way, everybody watching should be actually writing down these questions, because I'm going to tell you, almost everybody I talk to is so darn general. And the biggest problem is you're so general. Yeah. And so when you open your mouth, they're like, oh, that sounds amazing. And you're so tired of people saying you sound amazing, because you're like, then invest. Let me help you.
Yeah.
But this is a leadership breakdown. See what I mean? This is a leadership breakdown. This is why I push so many people through our leadership program. It's a leadership breakdown, and because you're not leading them anywhere. So you're clear about your people because it's your heart. And that's great, because a lot of people get backed up about that part. So I'm check mark on your people. Stay niched out with that group. What do they benefit in their life specifically? So just start pounding it off to me.
They're happier. They are clearer about who they are. They're clearer about what they enjoy in life. They have more direction. They don't feel like they have no rudder. And it's leading to more and more interesting ideas and interesting things about themselves. It's probably still too general.
But I can see where you're going. They're going to the next level in their life.
Yeah.
And so if you could connect your art membership to some sort of a life map, I'll give you guys an example. I'm going with my girlfriend Novelina, her husband Jeremy, and Megan and Garrett, my husband and I, are going for a 6-hour lunch tomorrow. Didn't even know there was a 6-hour lunch, but we're all dressing up and going to a 6-hour lunch. And my girlfriend sends me a message that says, dress like the woman or the person you want to be in 5 months from now. I'm like, oh, great. I moved to Puerto Rico with a freaking suitcase. Are you serious already? That's literally what I said to her. I was like, I moved here with a suitcase. I'm just like, I don't have a bunch of like futuristic, like I want to be in the south of France on a 200-foot yacht. Like, I'm like, where's that outfit? Not here. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't bring that to Puerto Rico. So we were laughing about that yesterday. But my point is that like, we're going to life map. Do you get what I'm saying? And so
Yes.
as we're together for 6 hours, like, all of us love really classy, you know, that's our thing, right? Like, and so we're going to life map. We're going to be like talking about what we're creating, so do you guys see where I'm going here? Everybody watching, like, pour into her. How many of you guys would love to be a part of a membership that has you painting and drawing? If you've never painted and drawn before, it just opens you up. Like, it opens you up to clarity. It opens you up. Yeah, now, but if you can like use those sessions to talk people through designing the next quarter of their life and then putting that up while teaching them techniques, now we are starting to hook into something good. Right now we're like, oh my gosh. So now what happens is now we say, do you guys see where I'm going? This is why intimacy, this is why if you're very busy, you won't solve problems, because you've got an intimacy problem. You're afraid to go deep, right? And so you're clear about your niche, okay? It's these women, you know, 55 and older that are really looking to create something spectacular with their life. And you're using art to connect to your version of a life map, right? So life quest or whatever, right? And this is solving the problem of lack of motivation. It's solving the problem of clarity about what's next, so purpose. It's getting them re-engaged in their life.
Yeah.
It's making sure every quarter counts in the year, so they're not wasting their life. Your hook, I'm telling you right now, is every quarter counts. You sell an emotion, not a product. So now if I was selling this product, I would push on this, because when I said that, I felt, yes, oh my God, I'd love to do that, right? So now it's like you're out there saying, all right, if you are a woman that's 55, 52, 56, anywhere in the 50s, and you're finding that your life just is not invigorated, like you're not even sure what you're up to, you need some more clarity, the weeks are becoming months and becoming years, and you're just not really feeling super passionate anymore, I got you. I got your back. How would you like every quarter to count in your life? First quarter of the year, second quarter of the year, third quarter of the year, fourth quarter of the year. How would you like to be so unbelievably clear about the purpose of each quarter so that you're not wasting another day of your life? How would you love to kick out lack of motivation, feeling bored, feeling lazy, and kick in motivation to live out the purpose that quarter? So at the end of the year, you can turn around and go, that was my life legacy. You see how when you speak it, you start to create it, right? You know this because you're creative. How would you like to re-engage your life? I'm going to tell you how to do that right now. We have a community called Life Legacy, where women just like you are going from bored, lack of energy, lack of motivation, and wasting their life across the bridge to engaged, motivated, living on purpose, and super happy. They are creating relationships. They are creating books. They are creating time with their grandkids. They are whatever. Do you know what I mean? And you start, what are they doing? What do they want? And every time you run a class, you see what they're creating, what they're fired up about. And that starts to build this life legacy map. Right? And so that's your product. It's $250 a month, no contracts needed, or $250 a month, $250 a month. And you could say 2 quarters at a time, meaning that you commit for 2 quarters at a time. Now, if I take $250 a month and I multiply it by 12, this is a $3,000 program. Now, because we're in a recession, I would prefer for you to give them a discount, meaning that maybe you give them $500 off, which you never sell $500 off. You sell, I will give you 2 months off for free, right? So you take 3,000, you take your 3,000, well, it's 2,500. I don't know why I'm adding that up. You take the 3,000 minus 500, 2 months free. So you say you could either do $250 a month, or if you want to commit for the year and make sure that you have a very intentional year, then you can pay $2,500 and get 2 months off of the year. And now you know you're locked into a community that's committed to doing life like you. Right? And then you can give them a 7-day guarantee. If you don't like it in the first 7 days, you can have all your money back. And I'll even let you stay in there for the whole month. That's a great guarantee. It's a phenomenal guarantee. It shows your heart. Don't worry about people taking advantage of you. You know, just like, I'll give you your money back in 7 days if you don't like it. This encourages you to use it and get in there. And we have calls every week, or we have calls twice a month. And if you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. You can still stay in there for the entire month for free. Boom. Most people are jerks and they don't do that. Okay, so you're good. You got your plan. Go back and watch this video again on Shanda on Demand and pick it up. And I really recommend that you write all the words down that I said, and then literally put it on a wall-size Post-it, put it up on the wall, and freaking walk around your house pitching that. Just walk, and you'll find more stuff will come out of you, but it needs to be like, I sold the cost and the benefit at the same time. I didn't sell the membership. I didn't sell art. Do you get what I'm saying? That is how you do it. That is your process, right? That's like when you sign up, you need to order this stuff on Amazon. And by the way, you should have affiliate links on all of that in that welcome email so that you get paid on all of that too. So how powerful would it be if you've got 100 people in there that are paying $250 a month? That's $25,000 a month residual. And you should put your head down, lock into that, and do it. You never have to do an ad for that. If you do our list power program on retiremeshanda.com, we'll show you how to build the list for that, and you can rock that out. You good?
I'm gonna rock it out.
Yeah! Yes. Another woman free. Another woman free.
I love it. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. So good. Okay, so I'm gonna pop you off, Nina. If you can jump off if you want. I'm gonna work with Tosh. You can go watch us on the platforms. I'm sending you so much love, girl. This is the power of being in community. Look how quick that can come together. Okay.
Thanks so much, Shanda.
You're welcome, honey. No struggling alone.
Do it.
Tosh, let's go, Tosh, let's go. Okay, so when I listen to you, you want to speak on stages, right? So, and you're a little intimidated on the speak to sell. I will tell you, the speak to sell, when you pay, it is a better stage. It just is. You know what I mean? It's a better stage. So now, if you don't want to do speak to sell, if you have a vision, it sounds like you have a vision of speaking and doing a lot of speaking. So why don't you build your own stage?
I have started on that actually, because I've created a symposium that I'm going to do in February, which I was going to do for free to start with, just to get that practice and motivation.
Well, you could, come February, the recession could be really nasty in a good way, right? And they might not show up because people are going to be emotional, right? And so this is why I am so not connected to all you guys being in my community. I'm very committed to everybody being in a community of ambitious people. And I'm spiritual, y'all. I would not be hanging out in just a spiritual community. I'm going to tell you, because you all know what I'm talking about, right? Go have your friends be super spiritual. If you're committed to growing a business, get inside a community that the leader is strong. The leader has fallen on their face enough times that they know how to pivot. Okay. It's not a time to be in a community with a weak leader. Okay. You want somebody who's not going to say, my dog got sick and I can't show up. You want somebody that's like, they've had everything go wrong in their life and they're still showing up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hate to say it, but I miscarried on a stage. You know what I mean? I couldn't just, there are people from Germany and London and all around the world. Like, I couldn't just say, all right, guys, like, I'm miscarrying, you guys, like, I can't go out there. Like, I couldn't do that. I had to cry in my hotel room. My husband had to hold me, and then I had to wipe my eyes, and I had to go out on that stage because it was bigger than me. You know, so not that I wish that upon anybody, but you need leaders like that, because there's going to be an opportunity of a lifetime. Really. I mean, cash connects to real estate. There's going to be an opportunity of a lifetime for people to get into the right neighborhoods and ride that wave back up in the right neighborhoods. And so this is not a time to hold back. Okay. It's not a time to hold back. So Tosh,
Thank you.
You want to speak from stages, and you're also helping women who have had infertility get back on their feet. Important. I mean, that's huge. So I'm going to say, I think you should build your own stage. Okay. I think you should really focus on building your own stage. And I have no idea how to turn I'm not on my normal computer. So I have the date. Sorry, guys. Now y'all know how many times I get text messages. All my friends text messaging me right now. Don't text me. So I think you should build your own stage. Okay. I love speaking on other people's stages because they've already done all the work. But the truth is that, like, I pay to speak on those stages. And so you pay either way. You're going to pay with sweat equity, or you're going to pay with money. Right. And so if we're at the sweat equity, and by the way, I'd rather build my own stage than speak on somebody else's. By far, I'd rather build, because I now control all of that list. Everybody write this down. The power is in the list. The power is in the list. Okay. So I'm not doing Shanda on demands to give you fluffy stuff, some podcasts that you can't do anything with. Like, this is some real stuff. The power is in the list. So, I mean, listen, if you built a room just of 20 people, I know when we're in scarcity, a lot of people feel like that's just so little. Like, that's just so little. But it's not, y'all. If she focused on enrolling 12 people to pay, right? Maybe they pay $200 to be in a room with you. You've got a hot topic, infertility. $200 to come in a room with you. And out of those 12 people, I can tell you right now, I'm not going to say their names, but I know 4 people right now with infertility. Why do I know that? Because I've had my own journey. So I have been with that community, right? But there's also other women who literally help with infertility on other ways, like through supplements or this or that 100% could help bring some people, and you could split a percentage of the profits with them. Okay. But if 12 people were allowed to bring a girlfriend, BAG, bring a girlfriend, right? Bag. That's horrible. I didn't mean it like that. We're not bags, but bring a girlfriend, right? Then
Bring a friend.
Yeah, bring a friend. Yeah, bring a friend. That's all. Okay. Or they can bring their spouse or partner, right?
Perfect. Yeah.
You're going to get that room up to 20. I recommend at that point that you make a high ticket offer. I recommend you do a high ticket offer. Cash is king or queen, however you want to say it right now. And I believe you keep it stupid simple. And so, so now you can practice your offers. But out of 20, let's just say 18 of them are viable units for you, meaning that they actually are viable clients. That's when I say viable units, that means viable clients, right? And so out of that, say you have 18 times, well, I think your close ratio is going to be more like 40%, because I know people in your space. It usually ends up being more like 50 or 60% because the topic is so hot. Okay. And so let's call it 40%. You have 7 people that buy, let's say, a $15,000 or a $20,000 package with you. You see what I'm saying? And so now if you've got 15,000 times 7, that's $105,000. I should have known that. Or $150,000. And I would only do that like up to a 3-pay, just because of the recession. I wouldn't, my coaching, the nice thing about my coaching is it's going to always pivot based on how I can take care of y'all. Right? So now you just have to be brave and say, with this comes, let's say, a VIP day with you. And I would say I'll work with you up to 14 months or 15 months to get pregnant if you don't get pregnant before. Do you know what I mean? Which gives, like, it gives you space to walk through whatever needs to habitually get into your life. So I'll work with you for up to 15 months if you don't get pregnant before. But the goal is to be pregnant in 6 or whatever it is. You know, I don't know your process, right? And so you got a VIP day, maybe you've got 1 coaching call or 2 coaching calls a month, and I'll work with you for the next 15 months if it takes that long. But our goal is to have you pregnant within 6, right? And then you really work on that. And so I think this is a powerful, powerful move. And then it's $15,000. What credit card would you like to put it on? And then if somebody squirms, you say, would you like to do a 2-pay or a 3-pay? You need to say it like that. Would you like to do a 2-pay or a 3-pay? My experience is most people just take the 2. Okay, so if you offer $1,000 a month or $700 a month, they're going to take that. The problem with that is people are inherently not committal. And so if somebody pays more for something, they feel like, I invested in that, I'm moving. Like, I just paid $24,000 for something. I'm a lot more committed to that $24,000 than I am if they would have put me on a payment plan. If they would have put me on a payment plan, not that I would ever not pay it, but it feels less intrusive to my life. But when I pay $24,000, I'm like, yeah, everybody's going to line to this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be stupid here. But when it's $1,000 a month or $700 a month, there is more room for people to become lackadaisical. So people will figure it out. I mean, people go into rehab and they go to these clinics and they pay $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 to get healthy from an addiction. Well, they walk into IVF clinics and they spend $20,000, $15,000, $30,000, $50,000, whatever, $1,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars by going back in and trying it again. Do you get what I'm saying? Where I see, I don't know this for sure, but I know people like you. When I worked with somebody around my fertility, I produced more embryos in IVF than somebody that was 21 years old. I mean, and the doctor was like, you don't have to do all of that. Like, you don't do all of that. Like, it's just your age. It's just what, and it was like I literally went off the IVF drugs because it looked like my body was not going to perform. And then they keep checking you because I was going to do an IUI. And the doctor that owns the company, the IVF clinic in California, said, I have never seen this in my entire life. She said, this is actually impossible. You are the first client that we've ever had that we took you off the IVF drugs and we have to put you in for surgery because you have too many embryos. We have to pull them out of you. You have so many embryos. And I went off the freaking drugs. So my point is that you are an insurance plan for anybody who is going to go down that route. And you're also an insurance plan for anybody who really doesn't want to go down that route and wants to give it one last try. So I love this because this is like one last try, security blanket for IVF. Like this is your baby, right? Like this is incredible. And so this is the direction I would go with you. And I would build a higher threshold client just because of the fact that we just need to get cash in the door now. And then if you want to take some of that cash, I'm going to tell you, if you've been watching Shanda on Demand, I want you to take some of that $150,000 that you're going to get within a month to 2 months, 3 months at tops. You're going to have that cash, right? So if you take it's 105,000. If you take the 105,000, it's 105,000, sorry. If you take that 105,000 and I divide it by 3, this plan gives her $35,000 a month. And really, what is she enrolling? 7 people at 15,000. That is very doable with a room of 20 people. Very, very doable, especially with a client that already has a very, very emotional drive. You can suck and they're going to do this. You can suck at your offers. They're going to do this because you're in a room and you're helping them. This can be a 1-day workshop. This does not have to be a 2-day workshop. This should be, I would actually make it 1.5. So I would make the offer towards the end of your 1 day.
Yep.
Okay. So if you went from 9 to 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, let's say 4, I would make the offer after lunch at about 2:30, take a 30-minute break where people can come ask you questions, sign up, and then close out the room from 3 to 4, and then remake the offer again before you end the day. Like if you're more like an emotional, if you're sitting on the fence, don't hesitate to come talk to me. I'm on your side. I am your cheerleader for this. I am the doula for your baby coming through. Like this is happening, right? So come talk to me if you're on the fence. And then you end the event, they come talk to you. That's like repitch number 2. Then the next day, do a morning session. And after about 30 minutes of the morning session, it's called a program at a glance, y'all. I don't talk about all this stuff so much because I focus on the list building because none of this really gets to happen without it. Right. And that's why I push so many people to retiremeshanda.com. Right. It's just like the list building pushes all this forward. And so here's why I just said that. It's so important that you're not confusing in the market. For you, Tosh, and for everybody watching, push on one topic that is the foundation of everything you do. Because otherwise, people don't know what to know you for. Do you know what I mean? So I am known for creating cash flow. That's my jam. That's what I like to do. That's what I'm good at. You know, that's my jam. This next 2 years, we're going to be focusing on multiplying people's income. Cash injection, because what happens is I teach people how to make money and then they go spend it on stupid shit. You know, and then like, I have no more money left. So now I'm really happy for this market right now because I will have opportunities for people to just go put it in there because that would be smart, you know, and watch them go do it, right? And actually get ahead. But
Awesome.
while you're pushing on this, I would recommend that you take some of this 35,000 a month or 105,000 for 3 months. I'm going to recommend that you take a good chunk of that and put it into a slush account, and then maybe take 10 or 15,000 of it and go do a sponsorship on a really good stage. Okay. Sound good?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
So
absolutely. Yeah. Fantastic. Woo!
Keep it simple. All right, Tosh, I'm going to pop you off and I'm going to end Shanda on demand today. I hope this was helpful for you, and I'm sending you so much love, girl.
Thanks, Shanda.
All right, you guys. So that's it. That is how you do it. It's how you look at what people really need, look at what they really want, and then develop a monetization plan around it. Both of those women are totally opposite. They're totally different. One is in art, where we took it into a membership. I didn't take it into a $97 membership because she wouldn't make enough money, right? Like, it's like you need volume for that. But the first girl, I could take her into Nina, I could take her into a $250 membership, which is easy to build up and have some good cash flow. And then Tosh, I was able to look at her and go, okay, she is really, she's like a doctor or a nurse practitioner, or just somebody who just studied nutrition and understands how to get people pregnant. It's like she already mentioned that she was really interested in being on stages. So I took where her interest was. And this is why you got to be really careful that a coach doesn't talk you off your purpose. Okay. It's really important. Now, I will tell you, if I thought either of those girls were selling the wrong thing, or those ladies selling the wrong thing, I 100% would have pushed on that. So if Tosh would have been talking to me about, well, I want to help people get healthy and make money. And if I asked her, are you financially free? And she said, no, I would challenge her on it. I mean, I know people who, I've seen it a lot. I have a good friend of mine who hired me who first sold weight loss. I'm like, you're not a weight loss coach. Like I'm not afraid to be honest if I think you're off. and I just recommend that you don't push people away that are really trying to be honest to help you get to where you want to be. But with these two ladies, with this case, they were both on point. They just needed somebody to see them, somebody to believe in them, and to simplify the path so that they can just put their head down, stop second guessing themselves, stop being open to every marketing plan or idea or what. The truth is they absolutely know what they're doing now. So now they have to look themselves in the mirror every day and say, I can do this. I can do this. They're no longer confused. And I want that for every single person watching Shanda On Demand. So sending you guys so much love, and have a fantastic weekend as we wrap down this week. I'll see you next week on Shanda On Demand. I wish I had my step. Okay, hold on. Let me give you a hint. Do you want to know a hint on what I'm going to train on Monday? Okay, hold that. All right. On Monday. Oh, this is a good one. I'm going to talk to you about the courage to follow through on Monday. And I'm going to challenge you on some of the things that could be holding you back, challenge you to make some decisions that you've been putting on the back burner, and just really challenge you to have the courage to follow through. And I think you're going to find Monday inspirational. It's going to be a great start to the week. It'll fire you up. It'll get you clear about what you're doing for the week to be able to get more speed in the week. So here's having a great weekend. Plan your Mondays before you get there. And I'll talk to you soon on Shanda On Demand. Bye.